Super Tuesday has come and gone. We'll let you know where the votes fell and what's next on the campaign trail coming up.
With political season in full swing, one group on campus is taking advantage of the increased interest in freedom and the American way. We'll have the details next.
And if the summer is creeping up on you and you don't know what to do, we'll take you live to one event that could help define your future.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm AJ Sanchez.
And I'm Billy Ingle. Yesterday, people around the country headed out to the polls to help decide who will be in the running for President of the United States.
Although there were a few surprises, at the end of the night, two candidates stood out above the rest. As we mentioned on Monday, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton were both predicted to have strong showings in the Super Tuesday elections. Pre-election polling was not wrong, as both Trump and Hillary came out on top for their respective parties. When all was said and done, Trump stood at 315 pledged delegates, having won Georgia, Vermont, Virginia, Alabama, Massachusetts, Tennessee, and Arkansas. Clinton's pledged delegate total stands at 587 after winning all of yesterday's contests, with the exception of Vermont, Oklahoma, Minnesota, and Colorado. Yesterday was not a sweep for either candidate, with other competitors picking up some key wins. On the Republican side, Ted Cruz cleaned up in Texas and also finished with two bonus states, Oklahoma and Alaska. Marco Rubio also stayed in the running for president with a win in Minnesota. On the Democratic ballot, Bernie Sanders dominated Clinton in Vermont and Minnesota and found narrow victories in Oklahoma and Colorado. Regardless of Sanders' wins, Clinton still has a significant lead overall, with 468 superdelegates currently pledged in her favor. Sanders still has a shot at the nomination, but he would need to have some significant victories in the next few weeks.
With the biggest day of the political primary season complete, the remaining candidates are now focusing on what could be the last few significant elections. Over the weekend, 5 states would hold primary elections, followed by 4 more on Tuesday and 1 on Saturday, March 12th. 3 U.S. territories will also cast their votes next week. Then, on Thursday, March 15th, the candidates face the last big day on the primary calendar, with 5 states casting their votes. Each of those states feature 50 or more delegates up for grabs, with Florida offering the biggest take. And there's one huge difference between the March 15th primaries and Super Tuesday. All of the states are winner-take-all. According to experts, March 15th will most likely be the make-or-break day for both the Republican and Democratic races.
Locally, Super Tuesday was the big story yesterday on the Tech campus. Hundreds of students turned out at the library to cast their vote in the 2016 primaries. Lines filled the library's Crosland room as students, faculty, and staff waited to vote. The scene on the Tech campus was a common sight around Lubbock, with many polls busy past the 7 p.m. closing time. Overall, Lubbock mirrored the majority of the state, with Ted Cruz winning the local primary by a wide margin. The Democratic race was a different story, as Hillary Clinton narrowly beat Bernie Sanders, capturing only 57% of Lubbock County voters. By the time all polls closed, more than 42,000 Lubbock residents voted in this year's primary election. That's almost a third of Lubbock's 155,000 registered voters. And out of those who showed up to the polls, more than 2/3 chose to vote on the Republican ticket. But Lubbock County was not a reflection of the Tech campus. In precincts 49 and 50, which cover campus, the number of Democrat and Republican voters was almost equal. Also, in contrast to Lubbock County, Bernie Sanders won both precincts' Democratic primary by more than 70%. However, on the Republican side, Ted Cruz narrowly defeated Marco Rubio in Precinct 49, and Rubio slipped by Cruz in Precinct 50. For more information regarding yesterday's local elections, visit votelubbock.org.
Election season has stirred up a lot of talk around the country about the future for the United States and our nation's financial outlook. One group here on campus took advantage of the recent interest with a special guest speaker. The Institute for Study of Western Civilization hosted Dr. Robert Lawson on Monday in the Sub's Escondido Theater. Lawson, a professor at SMU, and teaches courses about economic freedom. In Monday's lecture, Lawson focused on the connections between political and economic freedom and how they work together to bring both successes and failure to national economies. The talk was the first in a four-part series by the Institute titled Freedom, Text and Context. The lectures will continue through the semester and are made possible by a grant from the CH Foundation. For more information about the Institute for the Study of Western Civilization and a schedule of upcoming events, visit the website listed on our screen.
With summer approaching fast, many students are looking for options for work experience or a career before finals end in May. Luckily, the University Career Center is making that easier with a special event today.
Reporter Laura Duclos joins us live from the Sub Ballroom with a look at today's All Majors Job Fair. Laura?
So much. I'm coming to you live here from the Sub Ballroom where I am at the All Majors Fair. This fair gives students the opportunities to network with companies for internships, part-time jobs, or maybe even full-time jobs after they graduate. I managed to snag Gabriel Jimenez, who's the assistant director at the Career Center, and he's here to tell me a little bit more about what's going on here. Gabriel?
Yeah, as you mentioned, as you can see behind us, we have over 50 different companies that are on campus and eager to hire Red Raiders.
Okay, awesome. So what other opportunities are being offered here today?
Well, we had the pleasure of teaming up with TAB, or the Tech Activities Boards, to bring students free headshots. As you can imagine, LinkedIn's a great resource for students to use in their job search. And so we're giving away free headshots where they can come in, take a good headshot, it's professionally edited, and then it's sent back to them within a week.
Great. So how often do fairs like this happen here?
We hold these fairs twice a year, so once every semester, along with other specialized fairs as well.
Awesome. So if students happen to miss out on a fair like this, what other opportunities does the Career Center offer?
Absolutely. We offer resume critiques, which is our bread and butter, if you would say. We also do cover letter critiques, and the most important, in my opinion, are the mock interviews. Sometimes it can be nerve-wracking when you're in an interview setting, and so we like to bring you into the office, sit you down, and kind of walk you through that process, as well as personal statements and even our online job board as well.
Great. So is there anything that you may want to add?
Yeah, as you mentioned, if you weren't able to come to this fair, it's okay. We have a couple different fairs coming up. But the biggest thing is to make sure and check out our online job board, which is Hire Red Raiders. You could visit the website at www.hireredraiders.ttu.edu, where you can create an online account and you can actually search different positions all over the country.
Okay, great. Sounds awesome. Well, you heard it here, guys. If you need any help with your professional developmental needs, be sure to stop by the Career Center at the Wiggins Complex by Sam's West. So that's all that I have for you guys. For MCTV, I'm Laura Duclos. Billy and AJ, back to you.
Thanks, Laura. The weather on the South Plains is often unpredictable, but this week seems to be going against the norm. We've seen mostly sunny skies and warm temperatures for several days now. It looks like that won't be changing soon.
That's right, Billy. But even though the weather is great for getting outside, there's one major factor that might put a damper on any outdoor fun. Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. As you can see, the sun is shining brightly and the sky is almost clear. Our high today may get up as high as 85 degrees, but breezy winds are spoiling the great conditions, with gusts getting up as high as 30 miles per hour. Luckily, tomorrow the wind should calm down a bit, but those breezy conditions will continue. We'll see sunshine and a high in the low 70s. Friday will bring another return of the 80-degree weather, but the higher winds will also be back. Expect more gusts up or above 30 miles per hour. Saturday is looking very similar to tomorrow, with mid-70-degree temperatures and light winds, but heavy clouds will move in later in the day, blocking out the sunshine. Expect cooler nighttime temperatures all 3 days, with lows in the mid to lower 40s. On Sunday, we'll see yet another return to 80-degree temperatures with partly cloudy skies and light winds. But Monday, we'll see a dramatic change in wind speeds, with gusts predicted to be as high as 50 miles per hour. Dust storms will most likely accompany the winds, so you may want to avoid any outdoor plans. Monday's changes continue into the evening, with a chance of rain after dark. Those showers will bring cooler temperatures on Tuesday, with highs only getting into the upper 60s. The winds will also stick around, but gusts should stay below 30 miles per hour. Overnight lows on Tuesday will be the coolest we'll see in the next 6 days, with lows forecast in the upper 30s. Looking ahead, the cooler weather should stick around through most of next week. Although yesterday's primary election stole most of the news coverage, the beginning of March marks a big month in sports.
From the NBA to the NCAA and even the NFL, the beginning of spring should see some big storylines across the country. And the best way to keep up to date with those stories is our weekly series, MCTV Sports 101. Host Kyle Stafford joins us now with a look of what to expect in tomorrow's show. Kyle?
Thanks, AJ and Billy. This week on MCTV Sports 101, Billy and I will discuss the biggest sports headlines of the week. Starting with the NBA, we'll have our take on how far the Golden State Warriors go into the playoffs, and we'll take a look at the state of the Eastern Conference. With the NFL Combine now finished, we'll let you know what we expect in the upcoming draft. And Red Raider basketball has been the talk around campus this year, but there's another team who might just make a run at this postseason. We'll give our outlook on the 2016 Red Raider baseball team. Join us for all that and more on tomorrow's show. I'm Kyle Stafford. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kyle. You can catch this week's edition of MCTV Sports 101 starting tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Just head over to the hub at ttuhub.net. You can also catch up on past shows under the Media Industry tab.
The Tech Activities Board is always busy hosting fun events and opportunities for students, and this week is no exception. Let's take a look at the MCTV events calendar. Starting with tonight, TAB is giving you a chance to take the stage and compete for a chance to share your talents with the tech community. The annual Red Raider Showcase auditions will be held in the Sub-Senate Room from 6 to 7 p.m. Those selected from tonight's auditions will have a chance to perform at the 4th Annual Red Raider Showcase in April at the Sub-Allen Theater. For more information on the auditions, visit TAB's webpage listed on your screen.
Also tonight, TAB is giving you a chance to step back in time and relive some of your best childhood memories. Blast from the Past is taking place in the Sub-Matador Room from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Stop by and have some fun with 90s games and activities. You can also catch a special screening of the first Pokemon movie. And on top of all that, TAB will also have retro-themed snacks. Everything is free with a Tech ID.
And finally on Thursday, TAB is giving you another chance to achieve your 15 minutes of fame. From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., TAB will host their annual Singer-Songwriter competition in the Sub Barnes & Noble. Participants will have a chance to perform original music for a chance to be the opening act at Raider City Limits in Urbanovsky Park in April. And even if you're not interested in taking the mic, you can still stop by and listen in to some good music. As always, this event is free with your student ID. So Billy, you planning on stopping by any of the events this week?
Hopefully. I know the baseball teams are playing this weekend, so hopefully I can find a way to fit everything into the schedule. How about you?
I'm kind of conflicted between the basketball and baseball and the retro thing.
You know, that retro thing seems like a really fun time.
Yeah.
Well, that's all for today's edition of the MCTV's Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. See you next week.